All right, let's get into NBA. NBA, man. Are we ever eaten? 19-4 in our last 23 spreads and totals. We're now sitting 22 games over 500. 157 to 135, 53.8%, up 10.37 units. ROI plus 3.55%. Average line minus 108. There's Jay Peach in the house. Dutch Boy Fresh on Heat minus 2.5. I'm with that. I bet that last night. Put that on Twitter. And he's on the Lakers minus 5. And El Capo talking about the Raptors' possibility of getting Giannis over to us. Let's talk Heat Bucks, and let's break this down together. And this is a pretty simple handicapping situation. Miami now at minus 4, by the way. Hope you guys got in early. Minus 4. Wow. This total goes from 216 to 218.5. And I loved watching the Bucks come together as a team after Giannis left the game. And we see that. Addo says the Heat's at minus 4.5. I only see them at 4s, but Al Mack says the Bucks are 2-7 third quarter against the spread so far in the playoffs. Al Mack's going to take the Heat third quarter minus 0.5. Jay Peach says no way Middleton does what he did last game, Heat by 6 or 7. And Shaft saying the Twins game 1 lines are popping up right now. Cool. We'll take a look right before we move on. Dennis Garcia joining us. God, what a day Dennis had to on Saturday. It was so good with the Thoroughbreds. Says, agree with the move to the over, but won't touch it. I just on a good run, Dutch boy. I trust you guys implicitly with NBA, but I feel very good here. Okay. So Dennis agreeing with the move to the over. What I was saying from a side perspective, why I had to get it on last night was we see teams do this in all sports. You lose your best player, you come together, you fight back. And you can't do that again 2 nights later. And that's what I saw happening here. If Antetokounmpo plays, which I do not expect him to play, is he going to get hurt again? He's listed as questionable. We'll see. We all saw him in that walking boot, limping out. 8 seeding games of pace. Bucks had a 106.74 possessions a game. In the playoffs, 101.33. In the series, 97.34. It just keeps dropping. El Capo says the hunger in Jimmy Butler is like no other. Almax says the Bucks are 62 to the fourth quarter under, while the Heat are 5-2-1 in the fourth quarter under. The pace tends to slow down significantly in these 4 games. That's a great, great point. So, great points being made here. I'm not actually sitting here saying Middleton won't have a great game because he'll be the answer. Let's just take a look at what his player prop is. Just take a quick peek and see what we're dealing with here from a player prop perspective. 25.5 points. It's heavily juiced to the over at minus 135. I'm not going to take that. JP says he'll have about 20. Yeah, Jimmy Butler is a spectacular player. And Dennis Garcia said this before Giannis got hurt. Dennis Garcia said, well, the Heat have the best player in the series. And we were all like, holy shit. Shaft says Middleton over 25.5 points, minus 106 on FanDuel. Is that worth taking? I don't know if it is, man. Because everything moved very quickly in that last game. Now, Spo has had a chance to digest the situation and understands all we have to do is stop Middleton. How do we do that? Al Mack says Hero over 3s. I would be hesitant. He's got a hip injury. So one thing that actually did make me hesitant, and I looked in for a while, was the injuries going on with this Miami Heat. All we're talking about are the injuries with the Bucks because it's the big players. But this Heat team has a lot of injuries as well. Now, injuries that'll keep him out of the lineup. Let's just go over the issues right now with the Heat, and Hero having one of the issues with a hip injury. So let's just go over to the injury report and see what we're doing. Jay Crowder also hurt. What are they saying about questionable? So Jay Crowder, questionable. So the Miami Heat do have some issues here. So Crowder, ankle injury, questionable. Hero, hip injury. And then Kelly Olynyk has a knee injury. And you have Iguodala coming back from injury. So the only guy that's banged up from the Bucks side of things is the Greek Freak. You know? Leo Leon. Yeah. Mike Smith's ride on Authentic messed me up in a big way. Messed me up. Mr. Gogser says, sounds like an under. Jay Peach going 117, 110 Heat. Jay Peach giving us a final score here. Bright Ware says, Bucks win today, then win the series. I'm very, very comfortable with my Heat minus 2.5 to keep my streak in NBA going. Now, from the Heat perspective, Bam said a lot of things that I'm sure Jimmy Butler was happy to hear him say to the team and to the press. Said they fell apart in crunch time, and the team's overall effort level relaxed, and says, I feel like we played like we was up 3-0. There's Fap Wim in the house. Fap Wim says a classic trap move by the bookies, moving the Bucks to minus 4.5, or sorry, moving the Heat to minus 4.5, taking the Bucks big here. No, Scooty and Ricky Butchano, we're moving on to NHL right after our NBA breakdown. So the one guy I do think will step up is Bam. But his point total is juiced to the under at 16.5. And his points and rebounds, 28.5, juiced to the over. Why don't we just take a quick look at what Bam has been doing of late? And do I really want a player prop to get in the way of my role here in NBA? I don't. Spenny Penny Bombs, though, is on Bam over 16.5. I'm on Heat, but minus 4.5 is crazy talk. There will likely be some buyback before tip-off. I don't expect Heat money to come in at minus 4.5. Let's just do a quick Bam search. If I was going to make a move here, I would make a move on Bam stepping up. But I would need points and rebounds. He's averaging 10.2. He got 12 last game, 16 the game before. He's just rolling right now. I don't understand why, obviously. Robert Allen says, I actually like all Miami player props. And Jay Peach says Butler goes off tonight. Robbie says 81% of money on Heat at minus 4. Shane Schwader says Dragic 19.5 points over plus money. I worry about Dragic's knee. Yeah, Slats 45. I remember the shirt stopped the insanity, stopped the props, but we did hit with that Westbrook prop. Ado Zudur says Bam, 32 points, rebounds, assists. I don't know if I need to bother with the and I don't bet as much on the props as I do on the side, but they all count as units. 32.5 assists and rebounds, points, assists, and rebounds. If it's just points and boards, it's 28.5. He's going to get there, man. He's going to get there. Ravi says Bam not repeating what he did last game. You mean not repeating what he did last 2 games? Because he had 36 points and boards 2 games ago, and he had 38 last game. The thing is, if the Bucks start buckling, there'll be no need to play Bam too much late. All right, I got the Heat of -2.5. I'm gonna sit back and win with that.